So today, we're diving deep into the Google Pixel 10 Pro. But look, this isn't just another story about a shinier camera or a slightly faster screen. What we're really talking about is a fundamental shift, a total redesign of what a smartphone is supposed to be. It's about moving from a tool that just sits there waiting for you to a partner that's always one step ahead.
This quote right here, this is the core DNA of the entire Pixel 10 Pro project. It's all about building a device that doesn't just react to your taps, but actually understands your context, anticipates what you're going to need next, and offers help before you even realize you need it. And that, my friends, is a subtle but absolutely massive difference.
I know, it sounds a little bit like science fiction, right? But this is the exact question Google is pouring all of its engineering muscle into answering. So how are they even trying to pull this off? Well, it all starts way down deep at the silicon level, and then it ripples all the way out to the experience you and I have every day. Okay, so here's our roadmap for today. To really get this, we're going to start with the phone's brain. That's the new Tensor G5 chip. Then we'll uncover the secret sauce they're using to solve a huge AI efficiency problem. After that, we can talk about the actual AI brain that lives on the phone, see how it completely changes the game with new features, and finally ask what this all means for the future. So let's start at the very foundation. Everything, and I mean everything, that makes the Pixel 10 Pro proactive is built right on top of this, the Tensor G5 chip. And this is not just some minor yearly update. No, this is a complete re-architecture of the phone's brain, designed from the ground up for a whole new era of artificial intelligence. And you have to understand, this is a huge deal. For the very first time, Google has taken the wheel completely. They're in total control of their chip design, leaving the old, modified Samsung silicon in the rearview mirror. And by teaming up with TSMC, the best in the business, and using their cutting-edge 3-nanometer process, well, that means they can cram way more power and efficiency into the exact same tiny space. Now, take a look at this, because this is where things get really interesting. That CPU layout is, well, it's weird. You've got 1 high-performance core, 2 efficiency cores, and then 5 mid-cores. This isn't a chip that's designed to just smash benchmark scores. No way. This is a super strategic choice, custom-built for handling those sustained, multi-threaded AI workloads. You know, the constant low-level thinking a proactive phone needs to do all day long without completely torching your battery. And this chart really tells the story of where that new power is going. Sure, the main CPU gets a nice little bump, but look at the Tensor Processing Unit, the TPU. That's the dedicated AI brain of the chip, and it's getting a colossal 60% performance boost. That's the kind of raw horsepower you need to do things like real-time translation or instant visual analysis, not on some distant cloud server, but right there in the palm of your hand. But see, all that power creates a whole new problem. It's like having a race car engine. How do you feed the beast? For years, AI on your phone has been held back by this thing called the memory wall. Basically the huge bottleneck you get when you try to move massive amounts of data back and forth. Well, Google's solution is a secret algorithmic sauce, and it's called TurboQuant. So to get what TurboQuant does, you first have to grasp the basic idea of vector quantization. The simplest way to think about it is like a super smart compression tool. It's specifically designed to take these enormous complex AI models and shrink them way, way down so they're small enough and fast enough to actually run on a phone, all without losing the really important stuff. So how does this magic trick work? It's actually a really clever 2-step dance. The first step basically reorganizes all the AI data to get rid of the wasted space, all the junk that normally clogs up your phone's memory. Then, the second step acts like a tiny, super efficient fact checker, making absolutely sure that even though the data is now way smaller, it's still incredibly accurate. And here is the payoff. This is what it's all about. That clever 2-step process leads to a mind-blowing 6-fold reduction in the size of the AI models. Just let that sink in. The phone now has to move 6 times less data around just to think. That is the secret to getting instant AI answers without your phone getting red hot or the battery being dead by lunchtime. I mean, this comparison just drives the point home, doesn't it? It's night and day. We're going from these big, clunky 32-bit numbers down to these incredibly efficient 3-bit numbers. It is a crazy reduction in size and complexity, and it's what unlocks up to an 8x speed-up in how the AI can process information. This is what makes on-device AI not just a cool idea, but a practical reality. Okay, so you've got this powerful, custom-built chip, and you've got this hyper-efficient algorithm to fuel it. So what do you get when you put those two things together? Well, you finally get the ability to run a true AI brain directly on the phone itself, Google's most advanced Gemini Nano model. And having this run on device, that's the real game changer for you, the user. It means AI features are lightning fast, with zero lag from talking to a server. It means your personal data stays right there on your phone, which is huge for privacy. And it means your phone's smartest features keep working even when you're on the subway or out in the middle of nowhere with no internet. Okay, so what can this AI brain actually do? This is where the rubber meets the road. Magic Hugh might see a text from a friend asking, "Where should we meet?" and just proactively pull up the address from your calendar. You get real-time call translation with Voice Translate. Call notes can summarize a whole conversation for you. You can literally point your camera at a building and Gemini Live can tell you what it is. And it even beefs up scam detection, all happening securely right on your device. This is what a proactive assistant actually looks like. And this intelligence isn't just about making you more productive, it's about making you more creative too. The camera coach gives you actual tips in real time on how to frame your shot better. Auto Best Take is an absolute lifesaver for group photos. It makes sure nobody is blinking. And behind the scenes, that same AI is working to give you unbelievably smooth video and push that new 100x Pro zoom to capture details you'd never see otherwise. All right, so we've torn down the silicon and we've inspected the software. So now let's bring it all together. Let's talk about how this tech actually feels to use day in and day out, both in the operating system and with the phone's pro-grade hardware. So with Android 16, the whole operating system is getting smarter, just to help you feel less stressed. Instead of that endless flood of notifications from a group chat, the AI can just give you a quick summary. The new notification organizer intelligently filters out all the noise for you. It's all part of this more fluid interface. And that intelligence even extends to the hardware with a new magnetic system for charging and accessories called Pixel Snap.
And that Pro in the name, yeah, that's not just for show. It's backed up by some seriously professional media features. Of course, you've got a powerhouse camera setup, but for the real creators out there, the big news is having tools like Log2 Video for professional color grading, really precise manual color controls, and support for Ultra HDR. This is a level of creative control you just don't usually see in a smartphone.
So after digging through all the layers, the silicon, the algorithms, the software, we can finally step back and see the bigger picture. And what we're seeing isn't just an upgrade. It's a clear, deliberate evolution of what a smartphone is even supposed to be. In the end, it all comes back to this one idea. All that custom silicon, all those clever algorithms, all that on-device AI, it's all serving a single goal: to transform the phone from a passive tool that waits for you into a proactive partner that actually helps you get through your day. And that technological leap leaves us with a really fascinating and, frankly, a really important question to think about. As our devices get better and better at knowing what we want, a new challenge pops up: defining that razor-thin line between assistance that feels like magic and assistance that just feels invasive. And that right there, that's the line that's going to define the next decade of our relationship with technology.